What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2
Yeah.
of Marriage Maintenance with the Westbrooks. I am Pastor Devin. This is Pastor Sam, and we are excited to be back for episode 2. Real quick, what did you think of episode 1?
Episode 1 was super dope. I felt like the viewers were very engaged. We were real, we were relevant, we were dope. And I think it was impactful.
You think it was impactful?
Yeah.
I think it was impactful. I think I really enjoyed filming it. The first time we did it, we actually did it on our anniversary.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to us for 16
years
of being
marriage.
in the marriage game. Okay, so if you could do it all over again, would you do 16 more years?
Absolutely. 16. 20.
Keep it real. Keep it real. Don't lie for the podcast.
I'm telling the truth. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't got to lie to kick it. We gonna kick it anyway. 16, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Let go. You're
So I'm just kind of going on top of my head, right?
Okay.
So what would you do if we didn't talk about this, right?
Okay.
But what would you so just flow with me?
I'm flowing.
What would you do differently? What would you do differently? And now knowing what you know. Knowing what you know about me, knowing what you know about marriage, what would you do differently?
I would subscribe to Marriage Maintenance.
Shameless plug.
No shame whatsoever.
For real.
I'm dead serious.
I mean, but we don't exist.
Because it's preparation, though.
I'm just saying, we don't exist. So there was no, and that's the thing, and that's what birthed Marriage Maintenance.
Right. We didn't
have it.
Right.
We didn't have anybody to really glean from like that. We didn't have anybody to model.
Yeah.
We didn't have a model of marriage that
worked for us.
Yes. Right?
Yes.
So you couldn't subscribe to Marriage Maintenance because it didn't exist.
I don't have no answer then. I'm telling you. We lacked preparation.
We did.
We lacked premarital guidance that we needed. That worked for us. So I don't have an answer.
I got you. I think that we subscribe to grace.
Okay.
But grace alone won't do it.
Right.
I think somewhere along the line we develop strategy.
Yeah.
And that's good. Because that leads us into what we're talking about tonight. And we're talking about tonight, I am not feeling my spouse. Yeah. I am not feeling I wonder how many people out there. You can't say it in front of your lady. I know if you're watching it with your lady, you can't say that. If that's you, just kind of pinch yourself. Lady, if you watching with your dude and you can't say it out loud,
just
don't look at him sideways. Just pull a track or something. I don't know.
No.
But we're talking about tonight. I am not feeling my spouse. Pastor, I can't tell you how many times I've heard guys tell me, man, my relationship is over. And I'm like, yo, why? Because I ain't feeling her.
Same here. I've heard several women, so many married women say, I'm not feeling him, or I'm feeling some type of way, or it just doesn't feel the same like it used to. I don't know. I'm not feeling him. I'm not feeling this marriage. I've heard this time and time again.
Quick question. Can you relate? Were there some times that you wasn't feeling your boy?
Absolutely.
You said that too. Hold on. You said that. You said that like you couldn't wait to get that out.
Listen.
Can you relate? Can you relate? Are there times that you wasn't feeling me?
Do you want me to tell the truth?
Keep it real.
Truth and nothing but the truth.
Keep it real.
There were times where I was not feeling you. I was not feeling this marriage. I'm like, is this marriage? Did we make a mistake? What in the whole world? What is this? Is this what marriage is supposed to be like?
Okay.
Like, and even now, and I think we both have shared this a few times, that sometimes we're not gelling or our cadence, the rhythm of our marriage is off.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We've matured to the place where we recognize it, number one.
Yeah.
We can be honest, number two.
Yeah.
We can communicate it, number three.
Yeah.
Number four, we take action.
That's good. Okay.
What about you? Are you out, were there times in the past, I know I'm your girl now, so no, it ain't your testimony right now, but your past testimony, were there times that you weren't feeling me?
were there times I was not feeling you? Absolutely, there were times that
Did you absolutely me?
I mean, see, you didn't let me finish.
Okay.
I absolutely cannot relate to that because I don't think they're.
Stop laughing.
I'm being honest. No, yeah, absolutely. There were times where I was not feeling you. I was not feeling marriage. I was not feeling like I wanted to even stay in the marriage. Right. I mean, absolutely, there were moments. So I can relate to guys saying that, but not just that. I mean, like, to be honest, I don't want to get lovey-dovey here or try to act like every relationship can understand where I'm going next. But what I can remember for real though is I can remember when we got married, and I'm not a tearful kind of guy. Right. I'm not the most emotional guy. And I can remember now that we've married quite a few people, I see one thing that's consistent. When the bride's coming down the aisle, dude's gonna tear up. Yeah. And so I was trying not to be that guy, but I do remember when you were walking down that aisle, I was trying everything in me not to tear up. Right? I was trying everything in me not to cry. And the more visible it became that I was about to cry, the more emotional the crowd got. Yeah. And the more emotional the crowd got, the more emotional I got. It was so tough. But I remember you walking down the aisle, and I remember literally, it's almost like you took on a particular glow. And I get why guys cry, because it's a very emotional space. Yeah. Because you're seeing your wife as a bride, and it's a very beautiful sight. Yeah. But it's also a very emotional space. Yeah. And the emotional space I was in was unfamiliar. And I remember, and I'm not just saying it because you're here, and you've heard me say this before. But I remember feeling in that moment the most in love that I had ever felt. And I remember being able to say that, like, man, the in love space that I have right now is incredible. And that part I remember saying. And so looking thoroughly at our relationship, I can say that I've discovered that the intensity of being in love is the thing that's most inconsistent.
That's good. That's
the intensity of being in love is the thing that is most inconsistent. Because what I've learned is that I remember being heavily in love that day. Yeah. And my level of in love was completely through the roof. Yeah. And so what I've discovered though is that although I'm in love with you now, is that in love has its ebbs and flows. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm in love with you, but that intense feeling that I had on our wedding day, right, is come and is gone. Yeah. So in love has its ebbs and flows. In love has its peaks and valleys. In love has its high points and its low points. In love has its high moments and it's not so high moments, or it's good moments and not so good moments. Yeah. And so what I've learned that if feelings can be fickle, absolutely, is that feelings can be fickle. And so if feelings can be fickle, we should not base our marriage on our feelings.
That's good. Say that again.
If feelings can be fickle, we should not base our marriage on our feelings. Because this is good. This is good. If our marriage is founded on our feelings, then don't be surprised if you find that your marriage is failing.
You got to say that again. That's cold-blooded. Somebody needs to hear that. Like, seriously.
If marriage is founded on our feelings, if marriage is founded on your feelings, don't be surprised if you find that your marriage is failing. Because it's a thing. Because our feelings can be fickle.
Absolutely. I think, look, I think our feelings are one of the most dangerous places to stay in.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So if we're talking to you on tonight, if you're the person that said, I'm not feeling my spouse, I can't stand my spouse, listen, the first thing, look, type this in the stream. Okay. Get out of your feelings.
Get out.
I'm going to say it again for people in the back, on the side, to the right, the left. Get out of your feelings. This is a news flash. Okay. There are no perfect marriages.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There are no perfect marriages. We are all imperfect people. You heard me say this before, but it's so crucial for us to understand that there are no perfect marriages. There are no fairy tale marriages. I know we all want the Martin and Gina, the Claire and Cliff, Who else I'm talking about?
Dwayne
and Whitley.
Yeah.
We all want those marriages, but those marriages we saw on TV. But the reality is, marriage can be difficult.
Wow.
Marriage can be difficult, even when you found somebody you're compatible with, you're passionate with. Marriage can be difficult. Let me say this though, it shouldn't feel like a death sentence either, though.
Right. Right.
It's gonna be difficult, and difficult days don't mean that you're headed for divorce.
I've heard you say this before.
Yeah.
And I really want you to keep elaborating on that point.
Okay.
But I've heard you say this before. Just because you've had bad moments don't mean you have a bad marriage. Okay.
Let me jump in and say this. I believe I've said this. Although there are no perfect marriages, there are no perfect relationships, we teach, even in marriage maintenance, our marriage maintenance sessions, that there are successful relationships.
Okay.
You can have a successful marriage, a fun marriage, a fruitful marriage, but you need strategy.
Okay.
What strategy? What's your plan? Yes, you're in love. Yes, you love. Yes, you're passionate. You may be compatible, but you need a strategy.
Yeah.
What's your plan to win at love? What's your plan to handle your marriage, to be successful in your marriage?
Okay.
What's the plan?
Okay.
What's your strategy?
So one of the things that I think we've heard, especially in regards to marriage, is that once you get to year 5, it's good after that.
Yeah.
Or that, oh no, here it is. This is the one. That marriage is 50-50. That marriage is 50-50. And we've learned that marriage is not 50-50. What's your take on that?
Let me say this. Can I say this first?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I want to say that what I've learned, and even with the hundreds of couples that we provided counsel and guidance to, that most people don't know what love is. We look at love and think it's all emotional, googly eyes, holding hands every day, laid up kissing 24/7, no arguments. We really don't know what love is, because even in our relationship, we've experienced stuff like, we've had a child to pass. Her birthday was her death date. Her birthday was her death date. And I wasn't thinking about no love. Can I be honest? I was mad. I was angry. I was hurt. Love was not on my mind. And life happens. What they say, life be life.
Life be life.
And sometimes when life is life, and you're not going to be holding hands. Right. So when I've experienced death in my family, or job loss, or whatever, I have 50 to give.
Yeah.
When you experience the death of your mom, you didn't have 50 to give. You didn't have 40 to give.
In fact,
you didn't have 20 to give.
Facts.
I like when you talk about that. Talk about that just a little bit more. I know, because you explain it better to me, I believe.
So the argument is that marriage is 50-50. You bring your 50, I bring my 50.
Well, hold up. Some people say 100-100.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So in other words, you bring the equal amount.
Right.
And the reality is that you can't not always bring an equal amount.
Nope.
When you're talking about my mom passing, in my mind, I killed a whole bunch of people. A whole bunch of people. I mean, my mom passed. I'm like, okay, so she wasn't doing nothing. Why she still here? Right. So I'm on kill mode in my mind.
Right. You think
I'm certain that I'm not in the best space to be a husband, or a father, or any other thing, because I'm killing people in my mind because my mama did. So I'm like, yo,
you were hurt. You were grieving.
Right. And so I'm not gonna say it's impossible. It's very difficult to bring a particular percentage, and I can appreciate you, because when I was in those seasons, everything that I was not, you had to do.
Yeah.
Right. So it was impossible for me to bring my 50. It was difficult. Let me say difficult.
Yeah.
It was difficult for me to bring my 50. It was difficult to bring a 100 or whatever percentage that they say is my thing that will equal what you bring. It was very difficult to be any of those things because I wasn't in that space.
Right. What about like time? Let's say I gave birth and I had to have a C-section.
Correct. Exactly. So, okay. Or time that you've had to go out of town, right? You had to go out of town.
Yeah.
And I had to make sure, okay, so now because she's gone, I need to make sure that the boys eat. Yeah. I need to make sure that the boys are fed. I need to make sure the boys are clothed and ready for school. I got to go over homework. A lot of the things that you would do while you were here, you couldn't do it because you wasn't here.
I was at 0%
Right?
at that
And so
point.
even though you were literally physically absent,
Yeah.
there were spaces in our marriage where I was mentally or emotionally absent.
Come on.
And if our marriage was going to be consistent, then it couldn't be I'm bringing 50 and you bringing 50.
Yeah.
If we were going to make it through those seasons, whether I was emotionally absent or you were physically absent, if we were going to make it through those seasons, those times, one of us was going to have to kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
And so what we've learned in our marriage is that you can't be 80 out, you can't be 50. You can't be 100. And when you can't, I got to be more.
Yes.
When I'm not, you got to be more.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So all this talk that, number one, here's a lie. After 5 years, you just keep working.
Right. Point blank and the period.
After 5 years, man, keep working. If they told you 7 years, keep working. They told you 10 years, keep working. We're at year 16. And although marriage is not a fairy tale, what it is that we've had to learn strategy.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be Dwayne and Whitley. Right? It had to be Devin and Samantha.
Absolutely.
And that we can't cut. We can't cut and redo.
Come on.
We have to figure it out.
Yeah,
right? And so what we've learned is that even though we've had to be consistent, even though there were times that we were not feeling each other, we've had to be consistent even when we didn't like each other.
We had to be committed even in the midst of conflict.
That's a better word. Committed.
Yeah.
We had to be committed. We had to be committed.
Yeah. I heard you say earlier that you said something to the point that a marriage that's based on feelings is a marriage that's in danger of failing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that just a little bit more as it relates to love versus in love.
Love versus in love. Everybody wants to be in love.
Yeah.
Those googly eye feelings and holding hands and it's all peachy cream and everything smells sweet. Right. And when you're in love, when you first start dating and you're in love, you don't change. You change outfits every time. Right. You don't fart in front of each other. I'm sorry, we got people watching. You don't lose your manners in front of each other. Right? All those, watch this, all those pretentious things. Right. Right? And so, but what happens when that in love begins to fade? Again, you can't base your marriage on your feelings, because if you base your marriage on feelings, don't be surprised if you find that your marriage is failing. And so what we've discovered is that there is a difference between in love and love. If love can be fickle, if love can have its ebbs and flows, then we have to base our marriage on the act of love. Let's go Bible. John 3:16 says, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? God so loved that he gave. So not only does God have an emotive love for us, but more importantly, God has an active love.
That's good.
Oh, that's good.
You preach.
Not only does God have an emotive love, but God has an active love. So therefore, the act of love has to be more consistent. If in love has its inconsistencies, then the act of love must be consistent.
That's good. That's real good.
That's the difference. In love is wonderful. And yes, I work to stay in love with you. But the reality is that in love has its high points and low points. Yeah. It has its valleys and its mountaintops, right? It has its peaks and its valleys. That's the in love. Yeah. And so if all I operate on is in love, then I'm going to be as inconsistent as my inconsistent feelings.
That's good.
So
that's so good.
So we cannot base our marriages or relationships off the feeling. We have to base it off the act of love, which means I'm committed to you even when I ain't feeling you.
Yeah.
That's what God so loved the world that he gave. When he gave his son, the world wasn't feeling him.
Right. You trying to preach now. Okay.
When he gave his son, the world, right, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Right?
That's Bible.
So sinners, that means we were in rebellion.
Yeah. That's good.
We were in rebellion, but yet God was committed to calling us back. And so if we base our relationships and our marriages on how we feel, I ain't feeling you. then our relationship gonna be just as fickle as how we feel.
Yeah, that's good.
But if we are committed to one another beyond how we feel,
beyond how we feel,
that's called adulting. If life be lifing, then adults need to be adulting.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Which means we got to be committed to it. And that's what I think that's what we've learned to do. We've learned to be committed to where if I'm not feeling you, they don't give me the right to leave you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm not feeling you, they don't give me the right to say I ain't paying no bills this month.
Come on.
If I ain't feeling you, they don't give me the right to go and cheat on you.
Right.
No, that's immature.
Yeah.
Right? Our marriage is more substantive than feeling.
Come on.
Yes, we work to remain in love with one another.
Yeah.
But if we're having a moment where we ain't feeling each other, they don't get me license to introduce somebody else to the relationship.
Come on.
Because I'm committed to you, I'm going to keep doing right by you.
Right.
That's love.
That's love. The act of love.
That's love. That's the act of love.
Yeah.
The act of love. Action word. Keep serving.
Yeah.
Keep doing.
Yeah.
Remain committed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So all right. Let me ask you a question. What does an act of love look like on a practical level?
You already started it. Keep serving. Keep serving. Keep loving. Keep cooking. Look, if even when I'm not feeling you, even when I'm not feeling the love, you're gonna have a plate.
Yeah.
Your food gonna be ready.
Yeah.
And not only am I gonna cook it, I'm gonna serve it to you.
Yeah.
Whether I'm mad or not, whether I'm feeling this or you or not.
So we've got an opportunity to minister to a lot of couples, right? And one of the consistencies we hear is there is things that were withheld because she ain't feeling him.
Oh my God, let me speak.
Come help the ladies on that.
Listen, ladies,
help the ladies.
Lean in. We hear this over and over again that a lot of times women use sex, they weaponize it as punishment. I'm just gonna I'm pretend like I got a headache because I ain't feeling him. Right. He should have taken the trash out, or he should have done this, that, or the third. Do not use. You can't withhold sex. You can't use it as a punishment.
Hope the people
as a weapon because you're not feeling him. Let me tell you something. I don't care how you feeling. If your man, your husband, let me correct that. That
is.
You better bend over, lay back, do something. My husband always says, I'm gonna tell him. He don't care if I'm sleeping, headache, or what. As long as I have a pulse, he gonna do some pumping. That's so crazy.
That's so crazy.
Seriously, we can't use sex as a weapon or anything if it's cooking. Whatever you normally do when you're feeling your spouse, you continue to do.
You're not
not feeling your spouse.
You're not allowed to withhold services.
No.
Whatever it is, sexual or otherwise.
Bills, the light bill still do whether you like.
You're not allowed to withhold services because you ain't feeling.
Absolutely not.
Right? I mean, okay, so let's think about it. So you just gonna stop parenting your child because you don't feel like it?
I was just thinking that.
Right?
Our children make us mad all the time. Right. You're just not gonna cook, you're not gonna send them to school.
So the boys come home with a negative report on the card, and we just okay, so y'all ain't eating tonight.
You're not gonna eat, you can't take a bath, can't get water, or have lunch. No, it don't work like that.
It don't work like that. But why do we do our marriages like that? It seems that we give everybody else more grace than we give our spouses.
You talking good. You're doing some good talking, sir.
It seems like we give grace to I'm stealing your stuff, right?
Okay.
We give grace to disloyal friends.
Woo! No, they two-faced.
No, they
liars.
Watch this. Fickle family members who, when they come over, you got to hide things.
Yeah.
Because it might come up missing.
Yeah.
We know they do it. We know that friend lie. You better not leave your man around him or her. What's cousin?
What was her name? What's the Faith? What was her name?
Cousin Faith?
What's Faith?
Faith.
Yeah.
You know cousin Faith coming over for Christmas. You know, and you keep letting her come over.
See?
Because you give her that space and that grace.
That's good.
But if your spouse does something, where's the grace?
Where's the grace?
We withhold grace.
Yeah.
We withhold love.
Yeah.
We withhold our service.
Yeah.
We withhold things because we ain't
feeling it. Child, please. That's crazy.
Get out of your feelings.
Get out of
Get out of
your
your feelings.
feelings.
Now, we are not at all arguing that in love is not valuable. No.
Because it is.
In
I
love
love
is
being in love with my husband.
in love is invaluable.
Yeah.
However, as much so two things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
Two things can be true. I want to be in love with her, but more importantly, I want to make sure that my act of love with her is consistent. Yeah, I want to be in love with her.
Yeah.
But the reality is I won't be like that tomorrow, especially how I am. I'm being honest with, I'm fickle.
Right.
There are times I don't feel like being bothered.
Right.
There are times that, I go in my office and I'm in my office for, you let me do it. It'd be hours, sometimes days. Yeah. Right. And you give me space to do it. Yeah. And then that time be like, all right, now that's enough. Come on up out of there. Right. Because it just depends on what side of bed I wake up on. That's just how I am. Yeah. Right. It just is what it is. And so if I'm feeling some kind of way, right, that does not give me license to just do me. So, right. And our marriage and what it means to our family, what it means to our ministry, what it means, I'm gonna say it, what it means to Memphis. Yeah. And what it means to people that we've met across the nation. Absolutely. Right? It means something to me that when we walk up, like most pastors, especially traditionally, it was Pastor Johnson and maybe his wife. Yeah. Everywhere we go, it's the Westbrooks.
Oh, y'all the Westbrooks.
The Westbrooks. Mm-hmm. And so our marriage means so much more to us that I don't think I can just throw it away because I ain't feeling you. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. I totally agree. We could talk about this all night long, but we got to get out of here. They got to go. We got to get out. Is this good for anybody?
This is good.
We got to get out of here. But listen, if you have heard something that has blessed your life, blessed your marriage, just blessed you. Last time somebody asked, how can I sow into this movement, this marriage maintenance movement? WMP LLC. That's the Cash App.
Okay.
$ WMP LLC if you want to sow into this marriage maintenance movement. And let me say this, we have a book, Marriage Maintenance, a guide to fine-tuning your marriage. For singles, it's preparation. Yeah. For married couples, it's absolutely, positively mandatory that you get this. You got to get it.
This is a book that you and I wrote together. There are lessons that we've learned through 16 years of our marriage. Man. And we often say that we didn't get this being pretty. Right. We had to get it out of the mud. Yeah. Right. And so this book, I'm telling you, is going to be so helpful because there are things that we've learned. You mentioned earlier, there's strategies. Yeah. There's strategies in this book, things that we've had to implement to get to 16 years and not have a hard marriage. We enjoy our marriage after 16 years. I think I asked you earlier, but I'll say it now. After 16 years, I'll do 16 more. Yeah. Yeah. I would do 16 all over again.
Yeah, me too.
All right. I don't know that I would change anything because if I change anything, then maybe we're not the same people we are today.
You saying something.
So, yeah, I think you should get this book. Yeah. It is an incredible investment into your marriage. And if you're single, you say, well, I'm married. I'm not married. If you're single and you desire to be married, it's preparation. Yeah. If you're married and you're struggling, I think it's going to help with manifestation.
Come on.
Right. Listen, this is Marriage Maintenance with the Westbrooks, and we're excited about this podcast. Thank you for joining us. We can't wait to get back with you with episode 3.
Next Thursday.
It's some smoke that we're preparing to blaze your way. Listen, jump in on YouTube every Thursday, 7 p.m. to make sure you subscribe to this channel. And listen, subscribe to this channel. It says redemption. It don't say Pastor Devin or Pastor Samantha. It says redemption. Subscribe to the channel because this is what we do for marriages and even singles ministry. Yeah. But man, our Redemption Church ministry is something that you really listen. Do your favor, subscribe because there's some information and some content on there that you don't want to miss. And if you're in the Memphis area, come and check us out. You'll be so glad you did. Until next Thursday, 7 p.m., this is Pastor Devin.
I'm Pastor Sam.
We'll holler back at you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Pastor Devin Westbrook.
I am Pastor Samantha Westbrook, and we are the Westbrooks. We are the curators of marriage maintenance.
What is marriage maintenance? Listen, we believe that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And from the ground, the dust of the ground, he created a man. And from the rib of the man, he created a woman. He put them together, and he called that marriage. What am I saying to you? I'm simply saying that marriage can have some dirty aspects to it. And that's where we come in.
Absolutely. It's like when you take your car in for an oil change. It does not mean that your car is broken. It just means it needs a little love, a little tender love and care, a little maintenance. We offer premarital maintenance and marriage maintenance.
Listen, to reserve your space with us, make sure you click the link. We are so excited to meet with you. God can redeem your dirt, but you got to be willing to do the work.
We'll see you soon.